Hey, this is Jamey with Stonemaier Games, and today I'm happy to be talking about my favorite mechanism in Murano Light Masters, which my friends at Matago sent me in leading up to Essen Spiel, which is happening in a few weeks. Um, this is a really cool abstract puzzle game with an order fulfillment mechanism to it, and the theme of the game is about building these glass pieces. So you have these glass orders that you're fulfilling, that you're creating, and you're doing that using these actual glass tokens. I don't know if you can hear this on the mic. Let's see if you can hear that. I don't know if you can really hear it, but those are actual glass tokens, kind of like the glass beads in viticulture, and they're really beautiful. And you use these dials to gain these glass tokens in a variety of couple ways that I won't go into here in the video. My favorite mechanism in the game has a few different interconnected parts, but it all stems down to a very simple mechanism or a very simple component, and that is your player mat. On your player mat, this is where you can collect up to 8 glass tokens on this mat. And when you are ready to fill an order on your turn, you take the top order card from your hand and you discard the gems from your mat that match the ones on that order card. So for example, this card needs 2 blue, 1 red, and 1 green. You pull them off here, and then for every open space that is exposed on this mat after you take off those tokens, you gain $1, and the money, or the lira in this case, and the lira equate to victory points. So this does a couple really cool things here. First, there are some games that have resource constraints like this, and usually they have it for a reason. And in this game, I really like the resource constraint puzzle here. I mean, it's almost obvious that you couldn't have an unlimited size of resource pool here because you actually want it to be constrained and small. You want to be able to reveal as many coins as possible when you fill that order. It also leads players to precision. So I mentioned that you're getting resources from this dial. And in many resource collection games where you have a bunch of options, you might just take the option that gives you the most resources at that time. But in this case, you want very specific resources so that you can fill in the order without having any resources left on here, so that you could potentially get 8 lira with a single order fulfillment. The last piece to this puzzle that comes into play really well is that at the beginning of any game of Murano, except for 2 players when you have 6 cards, you are given 5 cards. And these 5 cards you shuffle and you put them into your hand, and from then on, you cannot change the order of these cards in your hand. And I mentioned before, when you fill an order, it's the first card in your hand. So this is the order this is like the active order that I can fulfill. And so not only do I want specific resources related to these cards, I want specific resources related to this specific card. So I want 2 green, 1 red, and 1 blue on my mat right here, and really only that if I want to fill that order, because again, when I pull those resources off to pay for this order, all the spaces that are exposed equate to the amount of lira that I gain from filling this order. The other nice little piece to this puzzle, this hand management puzzle, and really not hand management, it's order fulfillment in a specific order, is that when I fill this order, I am also allowed to fill 1 more order. And so sometimes if you can play the game really well, you can build the exact resources, the exact gems that you need to fill the top 2 orders on your hand. And so in a single turn, you fill the first order and then you get 4 lira because you'll have 4 lira left on your mat covering up 4 of those spaces. Then you can then fill the next order, taking off the remaining 4 to gain 8 lira from that order. And as a bonus, the game says if you can fill 2 orders on the same turn, you get a bonus of 2 lira. So if you really manage those specific resources well on your little player mat, it can lead to some really big, satisfying turns. As I mentioned, there's a lot of all these mechanisms intertwine to make this work, this very simple component, this simple mechanism work, but they really do come together well. Other games that remind me of this a little bit are Bonanza. Bonanza has the same exact hand order mechanism where you can't change the order of the cards in your hand. There is one way that you can manipulate that in Murano. There's an action you can do where you could take this card and you put it somewhere else in your hand. That is possible in this game, but I really like that relation to Bonanza. And there are a couple games like Concordia also have a limited resource space that prevents you from overflowing, but I haven't seen any game use it to drive such specific resources as Murano Light Masters does, and to have you gain the resources when you fill an order, have the amount of points or money that you earn come from the number of spaces that you expose. If you have any other examples that you can think of other games that do that, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So yeah, that's my favorite mechanism and really mechanisms in Murano Light Masters. I look forward to hearing your thoughts once you get to check it out at Essen or after Essen if you order it from Essen or from Matago or wherever you get it in the next couple of months. But yeah, those are my favorite mechanisms in Murano Light Masters. Thanks.